Hey, how everyone's doing today? And I want to talk about tradition, right? And I want to talk about it from two perspectives, right? So, tradition. Are you following tradition? And is tradition currently serving you, right? So, a lot of times, people, our community, our circumstance, and there's a set tradition out for us to follow, right? Are you currently following that tradition, right? So I know a guy who comes from a certain environment, right? He comes from, grew up lack of certain things. So due to his family feeling like they lacked certain things, they participated in certain things, right? To gain this sense of community. But this sense of community traditionally has never served them, right? Having them participating in things that break the law, things that kind of compromises their self-respect in a sense. So we have that, right? Then we have our working class, right? We have the job, someone working the job. Oh, dealing with the supervisor, not speaking when there's something strongly on their mind, not fully like living what they think is the best life for them, right? And I've just seen a lot of friends and peers get caught up in tradition, right? So now that I graduated with my bachelor's, everybody's on this wave of like grad school, right? And we're thinking like, okay, do you really want to go to grad school, or do you feel pressure from your family to go to grad school, right? Do you feel pressure from your family to be a doctor or lawyer? Do you truly want to be a doctor or lawyer? You could probably want to be a mechanic or something like that, right? So when I entered these college environments, I realized they're similar to the inner city, giving in to the pressures, right? The pressures of validation from everybody. Hey, I'm doing this. I'm a part of these organizations. I'm doing this. But in reality, you're in these organizations with a bunch of people you can't stand. And I always watch people, always observe people. And these things are always really interesting to me, the extent of what a person will go through to be validated from his community, And they could do illegal things, they could do not illegal things, they could do things that kill their soul, kill their spirit, or they could do things that feed their soul, feed their spirit, and ultimately live in the path that they feel like is best for them, right? And for this channel, I want to promote living with what you think is best for you. You get me? Because I feel like when you go against what you think is best for you, right? When you go against your gut, I feel like other things fall out of place as well, right? For example, I took my car to go get serviced. And this is a small story, but hey, I want to tell y'all. So I took my car to go get serviced, and this lady was breaking everything down to me, and she was saying what I articulated, what she was saying, that this is a free service check and it's free. We check your tires and all that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But my instincts tell me, bro, just take your car, because she already told you it takes synthetic oil, regular oil. And I just had a bucket and I just upgraded to like a better car. And good, progress, so I'm happy, so I'm like, okay. And I was convinced that this service was free. But my instinct told me, bro, just take your car, go home, hit Jiffy Lube tomorrow, right? Because I trust Jiffy Lube. They're going to just top all my oils, and I'm good. And I'm good to go. Probably change my air filter. I never had an issue with Jiffy Lube. You know what I'm saying? They even flushed my engine. But anyway, we're not going to talk about Jiffy Lube. So I come back, it's down the street from my house, you know what I'm saying? So I'm walking, flip-flops on with no socks, and I go and hit this Kia, and they told me I owe $96 for oil change. And I was thinking to myself, wow, I was convinced that this was a free service, because I just got the car. And it wasn't. But ultimately, the bottom line of the story is I went against my gut because my instincts told me, bro, just get this car, take it to Jiffy Lube tomorrow. But I was like, nah, let me do the quote-unquote right thing, the quote-unquote traditional thing. Take it to the dealership and check it out. But going against my gut always failed me, right? I remember in college, right? GPA being on the lower side, and I started DJing because I couldn't find jobs, or the jobs that I'll find, I'll be cleaning toilets and crazy stuff like that, right? And I always remembered that I could fully support myself on DJing. Like, I made more money DJing than my jobs, right? But I was so caught up in the traditional aspect of things. And I realized this later in life. I didn't realize it when I was a young man. But I feel like a lot of times when something isn't for you, don't get me wrong. If you want something and stuff not going out in your favor, I truly believe that you should use all your power to make it go in your favor. But I feel like in the aspect of things that it's not right for you and stuff just popping up happening, I feel like it's truly not meant for you, right? And that's what I mean by tradition. A lot of times we have this blueprint of like how things should go, but in actuality, you should make your own blueprint in life. I personally feel that because I feel like the people that make their own blueprint are the most happiest people, And another thing we're talking about tradition is the tradition of what you've been exposed to, right? Are you following the tradition of what you've been exposed to? So some people come from environments, right, that are dysfunctional, right? And I came up with this new idea that a lot of times that people just reenact what they've been exposed to, right? So a lot of times people are navigating on autopilot unconsciously. So are you reacting how you've been exposed to? For example, so let's say we're going to say something less severe. So let's say your dad washed his car every Sunday, right? All of a sudden, you wash your car every Sunday, right? And I just see a lot of young people following the things that they don't like, right? And this is interesting too, because they know there's something wrong with what they're doing that they don't like, but they're just reenacting what they've been exposed to, right? So we're saying like you see your family settle in relationships, or you see people live a certain life that you don't like, but in actuality, subconsciously, you are following that same path, right? That, oh, I seen people work these jobs, they hated it, they got home, went home, did nothing, right? So are you following that tradition too? The tradition that you've been exposed to your whole life? And are you challenging this tradition if you feel like this tradition doesn't suit your life? So that's just something, I just want y'all to think about, tradition. And what does it mean to you? Are you following it? Is it serving you, or is it not serving you? So it's a lot of things, but I just feel like at the end of the day, I personally believe that we feel based off the things that we're okay with, right? Like, are you okay with your choices? Are you okay with what you're doing? And are you okay with how you living? And, it's pretty interesting, like, because if you really think about it, a lot of people are not okay with it. And what are you doing every day to make sure that you're okay with how you're living? you know? So, yeah, it's pretty interesting, you know? Just let me know what you think. Right, wrong, whatever. But that's just what I believe. And have a nice one.